Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is January the 22nd. It's 6:30 in the morning. Yes, it's Wednesday, January 22nd. It's 6:30 in the morning. It's early for a lot of people, but I've been up. That's okay. On this channel today, we're talking about self-care work, particularly how it relates to politics, the discussion of politics at work. But before I get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Belinda Harris, and I am an HR disruptor. That's right. I have been in the human resource field for almost 20 years. And come on this channel and I talk about things as it relates to human resources. I talk about things as it relates to AI. I'm a big fan of AI. And so I talk about AI a lot on this channel. And I also talk about self care at work. So I talk about human resources as it relates to small businesses or people trying to get a job and everything in between. I talk about AI and I talk about self care at work. And on Wednesdays at 6:30 in the morning, I come on and I talk about self care at work. And you may be saying, why so early in the morning? Belinda, 6:30 is mighty early. Yes, it is. I would agree. One of the reasons why I like to get on early and for hopefully people can watch it early is so that we can set the day. Because sometimes the day sets us. We walk in stressed out, emails up to our eyeballs, people needing. You didn't sleep good last night. You didn't do all these other things. So you walk into the workday already at a 10. And I am trying to help people start their work day a little bit better, particularly on Wednesdays. This is why I do self-care at work live on YouTube on Wednesdays to help try to set the intention. So when you get to work, when you start work, hopefully the hope is that you go in feeling a little bit better, of feeling a little bit healthier, feeling a little bit more planned on what to do. So going back to self-care right before I jump completely into the topic is that a lot of people talk about self-care. A lot of people even practice self-care. A lot of people have morning routines, things they do in the morning. Some people may journal. Some people may meditate. Some people may exercise. Some people may do grounding. There's a slew of things that a lot of people do in the morning for their morning routine. And then in the afternoon or evening, some people have evening routines or nightly routines before they go to bed. Maybe they set the temperature so it's a little cooler. Maybe they stop watching TV or electronics 90 minutes before time to go to bed. Maybe they do stretches, or maybe they drink some warm milk, that they have a routine that they do every night so that they can have a good night's sleep. And those are all wonderful things. We should be doing those things, being intentional about our morning, being intentional about how we get ready to go to bed so that we can have a good night's sleep. The problem is that sometimes when we get to work, we forget about all the self-care. We pour into ourselves and just hit it and provide no self-care during those 6, 8, 10, 12 hours that we're at work. And that's why I talk about self-care at work, because we need to make sure that we are providing self-care. We are continuing the self-care even at work, and especially at work. Not even, but especially at work, when sometimes is when we need it the most. So today I'm going to talk about politics, not politics within the office, not that, but just the climate. We have been through, if you're in the United States, we've been through an election. It's been a long election, and we have a new administration. And a lot of people may not be happy about that. And a lot of people may be. And you get to the office and people may start talking about that. And for some people, it can not feel so comfortable, not feel so safe, not feel so I want to be here because of the conversation. And you may not know, well, what can I do? How can I stop that? It's at work. I don't I don't want to cause any rifts. I don't want to upset anybody. What can I do? And one of the things that I talk about all the time at work as it relates to self-care is setting boundaries. That is one of the most important things that you can do at work, not just for yourself, but for the other person too. Like for me, I set boundaries that when I'm working on something, I don't want to be interrupted, because if I'm interrupted, I'm working on something, I may be a little grouchy or snappy. So I set boundaries so I don't talk to anybody during that time that I'm trying to do my deep work. That I'm trying to concentrate. So when you're at work, setting boundaries is extremely important. Again, not just for yourself, but for your coworkers, for others in the office, because you don't want it to be like, I don't want people to be like, here she come. Here comes Grouchy. I don't want people to think that about me. So I try to set boundaries for myself and for them so that everybody knows where we stand. So as it relates to politics, if someone is talking a political talk and it's causing you stress or discomfort or anxiety, you can excuse yourself. You can try to steer the conversation another way. Like a simple response would be, I'd rather not talk about that right now or here at work. Not even just right now or here at work, because you need to preserve your mental space. So setting boundaries is the very first thing you can do. And if you don't feel comfortable saying, I don't want to talk about that, you can just leave the conversation. Just be like, excuse me, I have to go do da-da-da. And then let's say they're sitting at your desk and they're talking about sitting around your desk and they're talking about, that's a good time, a wonderful time to what? Go take a break, to go outside and get some fresh air, go on a nature walk, to go stretch. That's the perfect time. If you don't feel comfortable telling people sitting around you, hey, I don't want to talk about politics around here, I don't want to talk about that, go for a break, a mini break, which we should be doing that anyway at work. But that's the perfect time. Go for a mini break. Go for staying outside to get some fresh air. Go do some stretches. Go practice your mindful breathing. The other thing that you can do if you got headphones is put them babies on. They sit up there talking, you don't want to hear it, even if they're talking to you. And if you already said before, I don't want to talk about politics, and then here they come again trying to talk about politics, when you see them coming, put them headphones on. And when they, you're talking, oh, I can't hear you, I got my headphones on. And continue working. So that's another way to set boundaries if you don't feel comfortable enough to say, hey, I don't want to talk about that. Or if you can't go take a break right now, put them headphones on. People catch a clue when you put headphones on and they're just a yap, 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 and you can't hear anything they're saying. So take a break, set boundaries, put your headphones on. The other thing that we forget to do during stressful times, and I talk about at work, is to stay hydrated. Make sure that you're staying hydrated, because that extra stress and the extra anxiety builds up. We want to make sure that we're staying hydrated, that we're keeping our body hydrated. So stay hydrated. Eat some smart snacks like nuts or fruit or yogurt. Again, you want to plan. This is things that you have to do, that you have to intentionally do. So plan, stay hydrated, smart snacks. The other thing that you can do is, before you even get there, is create a calm workspace. Some people have a small plant. Some people have a picture of a loved one on their desk. Some people have motivational quotes to keep them going throughout the day. Set the stage for yourself. So that when you look at the picture of your loved one, or, or your kids or your pets, you feel that. The plant, the motivational quote, those things is how you set your workspace so that it feels calming for yourself. One of the things that I talk about too, just in general in life, is to journal. That is a good time to journal your feelings out. I've written several journals to not only help others, but specifically to help myself. So during those times, maybe that's when I would do a 5-minute journaling. I take 5 minutes. I have a 5-minute journal up there. But I would take my journal out and I would journal for 5 minutes. I also have it in my bag for when I'm out. So I'll take it out, 5 minutes, journal to get those thoughts out of my head. So at work, when someone's talking politics, and that's something that you do not want to be involved in, you don't want to talk about, you don't want to be stressed out about, what do? You set boundaries. That's the first thing you do. You can try to change the conversation, say, hey, I don't really want to talk about that right now. Can we talk about something else? If they don't want to talk about that, then that's a good time to go on a break, to be like, excuse me, I gotta go. I'm needed outside, whatever. That's a good time to end the conversation and go outside, go on your nature walk, take your stretches. It's also a good time to maybe do some deep breathing, when you're outside. So if they're having the conversation, that's not what you want to talk about. Ask them, set your boundaries, ask them, hey, I don't want to talk about that. Can we change the subject? If they choose not to, take your break. That's a good time to take a break. And when you're on your break, make sure you're doing something other than fuming about what they were talking about. That's the other thing too. So when you go on your break, don't take that with you. Don't take the politics, the stress with you. That's the whole purpose of you're leaving that behind. You're trying to get away from that. So when you go on the break, start thinking about other things. When you're going on your walk, when you're doing your stretches, when you're staying hydrated, you don't want to think about that conversation because you may get choked up, so you want to make sure that you push that behind you. So set boundaries, take your mini breaks, stay hydrated, eat smart snacks. Again, nuts, fruit, yogurt. Create a calm workplace. You can't do it after the fact in the moment, which is one of the things that you want to be doing now. For when, and if maybe it's not a political conversation that stresses you out, maybe it's something else. Go ahead and start setting up your workspace now to be calm. Maybe on your phone, your home screen is, a picture of something that you love, a loved one, again, a loved one, or picture of your kids, or picture of your pets. Something that when you see it, you feel love, you feel joy. Start setting your workspace for that now to create that calming feeling. Get you some headphones. And when they not listening, when you say, I don't want to talk about that, and you can't get up and go take another break right now, you can put them headphones on and tune all them clowns right on out. Put them headphones on, tune them right on out. Create the workspace, which is, why you want to create music. I talked about that last week. Music from your vacation that reminds you of that. Create some calming music so that when you have to put your headphones on to tune everybody out, it's bringing you down. It's a calming tool that will help you. So again, and then journal. I have a journal, 5-minute journal. You can use a sheet of paper. It doesn't necessarily have to be a journal. You can use a sheet of paper and just start writing out your feelings. Time yourself, which is, what I say for the 5-minute journal. Time yourself. And it's not a rush to how much you can get done. But when you don't have a lot of time in your day, you can time yourself and just start writing your journal to get those feelings out. Don't hold it in. It's when we hold it in, it's when it does damage to us. It's like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. No, let that poison out. Get that out your system. So don't hold these things in, get them out so that you can feel better, so that you can ultimately, what are you at work for? To get work done, right? That's the whole purpose. You got work to do so you can get paid, so you can get things done. You need to push those people away, set your boundaries, create your space, create your workspace. Those are my tips, my suggestions, my things that I do, that I practice as well when I'm working, whether I'm working from home or whether I'm working at my office. So those are things that I practice. I take my headphones with me. I always have my journaling with me. I can always get up and go take a break outside to get away from the space. So those are things that I practice myself. So I'm Belinda Harris. I've enjoyed being on this live. And maybe you're not watching it now. Maybe you're watching later today. Tell me later in the comments. I would love to hear what is some advice that you would give, or what did you take from what I talked about today that you can incorporate? So one, can you give an advice for somebody else, to share? And what did you get from this video? So I'm Belinda Harris. I'm an HR disruptor. I talk about HR all things HR on this channel, whether it's for small business owners, whether it's for people looking for a job and everything in between. I talk about AI. I talk about AI a lot on this channel, and I talk about self-care at work. Every Wednesday, 6:30 a.m. live on YouTube. Love to see you here. Hope you have a wonderful day.